Hello, how are you doing today? I have a problem with one of my meads. It is not clearing the way I want it to. It's my rhubarb mead and I made it back in the summer and the rhubarb mead is just not clearing very well at all. It's an issue. Anyway, here it is. I'll bring it over to you now. The colour of this rhubarb, although it's red, although it's rhubarbish, although it's looking brilliant, the actual colour, it is very cloudy. I thought there might be a pectin issue, but I know I used pectolase in it, so it's not that. I can rule a pectin haze out. So it is a colour issue. It's not a tannin issue either, so it's not pectolase, it's not tannin. It is just very, very slow to clear. So what am I going to do about the colour of my rhubarb mead? It's not the colour of my rhubarb wines. They cleared perfectly. They were bright, they were sparkly, they had this orangey tinge to them, and they just were perfect. So I'm going to go to an age-old winemaker's trick that is literally age-old. When I first started making wines 30-something years back, we didn't have any finings or agents to clear wine for us. None of these chemicals. We used natural things such as eggs. That's an egg. Don't drop it. Don't squeeze too hard. So if that egg goes everywhere, don't worry, I have plenty more. The hens are laying and we have loads and loads of eggs, which is fantastic. Anyway, so how will an egg clear this wine? There's two methods. First up, you could use the egg white, which would take out a lot of the haze and really make the wine clear faster. But I think this wine is more of a colour issue. So I'm using eggshell. We had egg for lunch, so I kept the shell and I've baked it in the oven. Only a few minutes on a high heat, don't drop that egg on me, until they go all crunchy and brittle. And then what you want to do is grind down the eggshell to quite a coarse powder. So simply crunch it up, break it up. Makes a lovely, lovely noise if you do. It's so satisfying to do. You want to bake it in the oven so it's brittle and you've also burnt off any germs that the shell may harbour. Are they all crushed? They're all crushed. You don't have to bake the eggshell, not if you don't want to. I would recommend it because they become more brittle, they break down better, and also it helps to sanitise them, gets any nasty bugs that might be lurking in the shell away. For the egg whites, you would just put about 3 drops of egg whites into the wine and that would clear it out. I will try that with this mead if the eggshell doesn't work, but I'm hopeful. I use this method a lot because I don't like chemicals in my wine and I'd rather use something I have. I have eggshells, I love to use them. They are wonderful for so many different things, especially winemaking. Did you know that you can use an egg as a hydrometer as well? I'll do that in a different video. Right then, so all we need to do now, take the sponge out and put the crushed eggshells into the demijohn and watch the magic happen. Shall we do? And then pour in your eggshells. 1 egg will do between 1 and 5 gallons, I find. Yeah, it goes in there. So what the eggshells are going to do now in your demijohn, in the wine or mead, they are going to attract all the CO2 bubbles that are in there and slowly sink down until they get saturated with CO2 bubbles. The CO2, carbon dioxide bubbles and molecules sink down to the bottom and also attract all the off colour of your wine. It will then take all these particles down to the bottom, release them, and then float back up to the top, attracting more CO2, more carbon dioxide, and repeat the process. This takes about a week to do. They go up and down with an egg, and they just really clear the colour of your wine. It saves the hassle of buying chemicals, using chemicals. It's fresh, it's natural, and it's free, or at least cheap. much cheaper than going out to the homebrew shop and buying something. So what I'm going to do now is leave this here for a week, then come back to it, and we'll see what a great job the Eggshells have done. Won't we, boy? Shall we go and do that? So I'll see you in a week, and hopefully this wine will be lovely and clear. Fantastic. Well, a week later, and I am most amazed at the difference in this mead. The rhubarb mead is now glowing. It's now looking bright and sparkly. Anyway, have a look. It's fantastic. The eggshells have been bobbing. The eggshells have been bobbing up and down pretty much all week, non-stop. The colour is bright and sparkly and bold. It still has that reddish tinge to it. However, it has lost a lot of that murkiness in the colour. It's brighter. It's sparkly. It's the type of mead you would want to drink compared to how it was a week ago when it was a bit cloudy, a bit of a haze to it. What do you think? Anyway, have a look at the colour and tell me what you think. It works. So there's a tip for you. Why not use eggshells to correct any colour issues you have in your wines? They work. I'm looking forward to testing this mead now in a few months' time when it's ready. Now the colour's sorted, there's no reason why this rhubarb mead is going to be amazing. Is there, boy? Anyway, if you've enjoyed this tip about winemaking, check out this playlist up by here. It has plenty more tips all about wine and mead making. And I'll see you again really soon. Bye bye.